What's up, Titans fan? There's just one. After last week's game, probably. But as we all expected, Titans put the beat down on the Bengals. Who didn't see that coming, right?
Us.
Yeah.
If you watched the last video.
Exactly. Actually, we should probably, since we're not making money from our videos, we should probably delete our preview. Because I think I said I predicted we get beat 13-24.
I said 31-13.
Both of us sound stupid. So obviously the Titans win the game. Game's over. This is the recap. We actually put the whoop down on them 27-3. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like it was that close because it basically started, if you take away their first drive, that they just easily moved down the field. I don't know what that was about, but they easily moved down the field, had to settle for a field goal. From that moment on, the game didn't feel close.
Yeah, what's crazy though is, and I guess this is called good coaching, but I'm not used to Titans doing that. But we completely changed the way we was attacking the Bengals offense. The very first drive, we was 10 yards off with no blitzing, and then no pressure whatsoever. And then after that, just as soon as that drive was over, we had everyone up close, which we should always do, and we was creating so much pressure. So we just completely changed how we coached, and it worked out well.
It did. Because I'll be honest, I like the first drive into the game, I was basically saying, if we fired Shane Bowen, I wouldn't be upset. We just play too far off and give them easy passes. We do it every single week. And the first drive of the game, that's exactly what we did. But the Titans literally did what I said in our preview, what I wanted us to do. Joe Burrow, he's hurt. He's a statue. Their O-line, not great. Our pass rush is supposed to be great. So is what we need to do. Challenge wide receivers to the line of the scrimmage, send the house, force them to throw it. But since we're on them, even if we don't cover them that long for 2 seconds, our pass rush can get through, especially with the blitz, to get him. That's basically our only hope. Make him throw before he's ready or just make him get sacked. We did it. We did not do it the first drive. First drive, we were 10 yards off like we used to always be. They easily just sliced and diced our defense, moved all the way down there. Do you remember why they stalled? I don't either. Because they just easily moved down the field, but then they stalled and had to kick a field goal. And the rest was history because they didn't score another point the rest of the game.
I do know Hooker had a drop pick.
He did have, that was one of the plays. Yeah, he had a drop pick 6 because he actually jumped the route too quickly. Which he's playing a really good season. Like, he's playing better than Byard.
I agree. I just wish Hooker would stay healthy, which he's been healthy 2 games in a row.
Yeah, but I mean, and even the game he missed was a concussion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you can just make yourself not get concussed. But anyways, let's talk about this offense to start things off and the passing attack. I find it so odd that our passing offense looked better today than they have all year without Treylon Burks. I thought for us to win this game, we would need to run, which we did run, which I'll talk more about later. But our passing through the air, very crisp. We had Tannehill with 18 of 25, 240 yards, a touchdown, and a garbage time pick. We're trying to get too cute and still into the game.
I still wish he didn't throw that though.
I wish he didn't throw it because it wasn't open. It was your 7th round rookie wide receiver in double coverage. So I don't really understand why he thought that he needed to do that. But like, in my opinion, if the game was close, I don't think he throws that ball. That's just my personal opinion. I have nothing to back that up. But going back to the receiver or the passing game, Hopkins only had 4 catches, but he had 63 yards. We had 51 from Nick Westbrook-Akina. Chris Moore only had 1 catch, but it was for 44 yards. He's done that twice now this year, where he had only 1 catch, but for a crap ton of yards. Chig had 3 catches. Josh Wiley was looking good. He only played, I think, 18 snaps, but he made him count. He had a key block on Henry's touchdown. He had a touchdown catch. He had a nice, I think it might have been 3rd down. He had a nice catch on 3rd down to move the sticks. It was just, from our passing game, and how many yards did I say that was? 240? That was a crisp game from our passing game. Because here's the thing. We don't need 300 yards passing from our quarterback to win games. 240, that's all I need.
Yeah, passing game looked good. Once again, we have to realize that Tannehill spreads the ball too much. And I mean, that's not a bad thing, but you're not going to have receivers going 150 yards. Unless someone breaks a big one, you know what I mean? But we don't, of course, do that either. So we don't have any yak people. But, like, if you look at everyone's yards, no one had 90, 100 yards today. but
Yeah.
everybody got some catches and everyone did well. Like you said, Josh Riley popped up a little bit, which is nice. Got his first touchdown. But it was a good passing day. Good passing day. Good running day. I like the play calling. We did a lot of play actions, which really worked. We did some good passing. We did some good running. We did some trick plays and stuff. Even if it didn't count, it didn't work. We did it. I thought Kelly had himself a pretty good day.
Winners and losers, like if we were discussing winners and losers of the week, I'm giving Tim Kelly a big winner.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm already liking the Tim Kelly experience better than Todd Downing. Because I think we should have ran maybe a little bit more with Henry against the Saints, but I think Tim Kelly overall we liked his game for the most part. We saw him spread it out, some trick plays and things like that should have worked, but Tannehill was missing. The Chargers, obviously, we put up 27 points and won the game. Now, nothing went right against the Browns, including Tim Kelly. Nothing went right against the Browns.
Yeah.
But then I really, really, really liked his game plan against the Bengals. Yeah. Actually, let's be honest. We outcoached them. Because Shane Bowen also, with that defense like we talked about earlier, the manning up and sending the blitz, that won us the game. It really did. Because, we scored 27 points. Great. Bengals can score 27 points.
Yeah.
But the fact that Shane Bowen and that defense was able to keep them to 3 was a huge, huge, huge success. So we actually outcoached them.
One thing, which we don't do much, but I say one thing that is so annoying with the Titans right now is we're all over the place. You know what I mean? We don't know what we are. We don't know. Some games we look like complete garbage, and then 2 different games we score 27 points.
Literally had almost any kind of game you could think of. We had a barely lose by 1, barely win in overtime, get slaughtered 27-3, and then slaughtered 27-3. I was like, what are we?
I don't know what we are. I wish we could show some consistency. But we do find ourselves 4 games into the season. We find ourselves 2-2, just like everyone else in the division. So the division's wide open, but you got to admit, we're getting lucky with the injuries. Now, Chubb was out. That didn't help us, but Chubb was out. Austin Eckler was out. And then Joe Burrow was in, but Joe Burrow is not Joe Burrow. So we're getting some lucky breaks.
And Alvin Kamara was suspended still. So yeah. Good coaching. I love the coaching that we've gotten out of the Titans. This week anyway, like I said, because last week was just an absolute catastrophe. I like Josh Wiley. Like I said, he only played 18 snaps, or 18% of the snaps, and but he made plays when he needed to, because that's all we needed him to do in the preseason. He just kept dropping it into he had 2 drops for picks in the preseason. I liked what I saw there, but one thing I want to talk about, which is one of the main reasons we won this game, is finally Derrick Henry turned back the clock.
He did.
Because he was, let's be honest, he was average at best week 1. Week 2, average at best, in my humble opinion. Week 3, he was 11 carries for 20 yards. Not good. But today, he looked like Derrick Henry of old. Not only did he surpass 100 yards, he had 122, and he had a touchdown. Plus, he threw for a touchdown. But also, he had 5.5 yards per carry. And I almost care about his average more than his actual total yards, because like I remember the one game he had, I think, like 80-something yards. It might have been against the Saints or it might have been against the Chargers, but he had like a 3.2 average. So basically, the only reason he got as many yards as he did is because we just kept running him and running him.
I agree with that.
But when you see Derrick Henry with a 5-yard average or over 5 yards, it means he was doing well with his carries.
The thing about it is, and I don't want to be too down, being Mr. Negative Nancy here, but they do have the worst run defense in the league right now. So we should get 100 yards against them. The question is, going against the other defenses, would Derrick Henry look this good?
Yeah, I could flip that on you though, because when I've been talking about when we got just our shut out by the Saints touchdown wise and got shut out by the Browns touchdown wise, you're like, well, these are top defenses in the league, and you got to score against top defenses. So I could kind of use that against you.
In a way, I mean, in the sense that yes, we need to score. We failed that. We passed, I guess, passing grade in the sense that we ran it against a bad run defense, but Derrick Henry doesn't look like he can do that against good defenses, so that's still an issue. That hopefully later down the road we can fix. Because I would say this, I sound like a negative Nancy. I do. I do. But Henry had a good game, but those couple cuts and runs he did, like, ooh, you look slow, buddy. And and then there's the touchdown he had. He looks fast that play. So I don't know how some places he looks like he can't get going, and some places he does. But
that touchdown, he looked like old Derrick Henry. He had 2 jump cuts, a stiff arm, and then turned on the burners. We haven't seen runs like that since probably the Texans last December.
Yeah.
Where he had that long, like 60-something yard touchdown. But not even that. Even that one was like mostly a straight shot. It's just nice to see him jump around a little bit and put a stiff arm because, let's be honest, technically any running back, if they have a straight shot, they can just run straight.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him make moves like that.
It was nice, and I'm gonna try to be more positive. It was good to see. Let's see if we can build on it. But I thought the run blocking did decent. Pass blocking could use some work, kind of. Like, there was sometimes Tannehill had no time, but there was also times, I guess, he had enough time to find someone deep or, down the field. So I think the pass block was a little hit and miss, but it's mostly Dillard. It was mostly him. I agree. I didn't see Hubbard do anything wrong. Now, I didn't watch every single play. We'll see what, the PFF comes out with him. But I didn't see Hubbard make any big mistakes. I didn't see Brunskill. I thought I watched a couple plays of I always forget how to pronounce it. Yeah, Radens looked all right. It was all Dillard. Every time there's a bad run or Tanner getting smashed, it's because Dillard sucks.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I almost feel like if we had a average level starting left tackle, we might have a league average offensive line.
And I will take a league average.
I'll take league average, having the worst last year and maybe the worst this year. It is really ridiculous because I agree. There were several run plays that were blown up, and guess who allowed it? Dillard. I think there was only a couple sacks in the night. I know at least one of them. It was Dillard who allowed it. Yeah. He's so bad. He is so bad. And
that's why it's good news. And we'll talk about this probably in the next video when we're previewing in the next week. But MPF should be back.
I hope we can shuffle it somehow.
Yes, we got. And honestly, the only thing I would want is Dillard out, though. I'm okay with Aaron Brewer. Brunskill's been pretty solid to me. Hubbard's been good, and so it's just, can we just take out Dillard? He sucks. I know he's the most paid tackle, offensive lineman for us, but I don't care. Let him sit on the bench. He sucks.
I agree. The whole Dillard experiment for me is over with.
Mm-hmm. He sucks. Because I really think the offense, like, you're going to start grade. Do we going to grade that or no?
Yeah, good.
Offense in general, I would give us A-. That might be a little harsh. We scored 27 points, which I like. I don't like 3 points in the second half. We do that too much. Like, if the Bengals offense was going, we could have been in trouble. But our defense held the fort down in the second half.
Yeah, I agree.
So I want to say A-. But you know what the biggest issue was? It was Dillard. Honestly, when it comes to runs for no gain or loss or pass plays not working out, Dillard was almost always the problem.
I agree. That's why I wish Taylor Lewan would come out of retirement. Technically, he's not retired.
He looks skinny.
He does look skinny, but he put like a cryptic message out on his Instagram where everybody was just like, maybe. Because think about it. If we brought him in for like $7 million, which we just cleared room a couple weeks ago with Harold Landry restructuring, so we have like $9 million, $10 million in cap space. My mic just fell. Sorry. But anyways, so imagine if we actually gave him like a 1 year, $7 million for the rest of the season, and actually had Taylor Lewan, Peter Skoronski, and then Aaron Brewer, Brunskill.
The question though is, Taylor Lewan, would he look like Taylor Lewan or not? He's been out of the league for a while.
He could not look like him, but be 100% better than Dillard.
That's a good point. Dillard is awful. And what's funny, and I don't know, this is up for debate, and I don't want to be caught in the moment. I don't know if he's as bad as Dennis Daly, but it is funny, kind of in a way, that Dennis Daly, like, no one is bad as this guy. This guy sucks. And we tried our darndest to find someone who's bad.
Dillard's making a case for it. Dillard is making a case for it. But anyways, we're being awfully negative negative, and then we're chasing a Taylor Lewan pipe dream.
But anyway, what's your grade on offense?
I would say A- as well. I would have given us an A if one of two things would have happened. That last drive, we kicked a field goal, so we actually put up 30 points. Or 2, if Tannehill would have not thrown that pick, and on that drive, we settled for a field goal. And then, because if we would have done that, we would have scored 30 points with no turnovers on offense. That sounds like an A performance to me.
Yeah.
So I would.
But
I would
A
agree.
minus is still A minus is way that's acceptable. That is really good.
After putting up 3 points last week,
Yeah.
100% acceptable, especially with our only scoring drive coming from a negative 9-yard drive because of a turnover that gave us good field position. So
I'm gonna say defensively, I'm gonna say A plus. Because that very first drive, I guess we had to get a feel of what they're gonna do, which is quick passes, which to me is an obvious thing.
I agree. I don't know why you had to see that in real time, but I agree with you. That's exactly what me and you said they were gonna do.
Yes, that first drive, we had to feel out what they're gonna do, which was the obvious. They went down the field, we bend, we did not break, and then after that, once we settled in what they're gonna do, we executed our game plan perfectly, which is get after Joe Burrow and get after him fast. We did everything. We did not allow a touchdown. How can you not give them an A play? A plus.
I agree. It says we only got 3 sacks on defense, which I'm not sure if I agree with that.
It feels like he got so much more. But I do think there's 2 plays that he got tackled for 1 yard. I think it was kind of a sack. We fell past.
Yeah, Harold Landry got him on the one. Yeah, because right now the way it's sitting is no, not Harold Landry. Arden Key added another sack. It's his first one since week 1. He had 1.5 in week 1. He hasn't had anything since then. So he had a sack today. Jeffrey Simmons had a sack. And then the last one was that guy we got from the Bears, Trevis Gibson. He came in and got a sack. So we got 3 sacks on Burrow. Lots of pressures, though. He had to throw it a lot of times when he wasn't ready for it. And we were kicking his butt all day. One of the players of the game to me is Al Shire. Al Shire went on a lot of blitzes, and he was just zooming back there. And he was just knocking the crap out of Burrow.
Remember they called one an incompletion, which was debatable if it was a fumble or not, and that was Al Shire. So that was one that looked like should have been a sack, but they called it incompletion.
Yeah. So I'll still take it.
Yeah.
And I think there was a screen that he blew up as well.
Yes, there was. So what rating would you give him? Grade.
Al Shire or the defense?
No, the defense.
Defense. I'm gonna go with you as well. A plus. When Burrow, hurt or not, Burrow slowing him and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon is very underrated. Mm-hmm. But all those people and slowing him down to 3 points. Like, I would have been happy if we stopped him to 13 or even 17.
If you want to be honest, and I'm not here to give Bengals tips, because now it's over, so it doesn't matter. I think they should have ran the ball more. I know that's weird to say, but I feel like the running attack was working a lot more than the passing attack. They would get a good run and instantly stop passing again. I'm like, why don't you guys keep running it down our throat? Which for some reason that's working.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think we may have had. No, I was going to say I think we had extra people in secondary, but we really didn't because we blitzed heavy today. So, I don't know why they ever run so well, but thankfully we were able to get ahead of them so quick that they kind of had to abandon the game or in the running game like towards halftime. So
we both gave the same grades, A minus and A plus.
Yeah. I mean, 27-3, and it's hard to find anything to complain about. I mean, we obviously can because of how we are, and because we have Andre Dillard as a starting left tackle.
Yeah, let me find out, offense did good, but Dillard makes me upset. Defense did good, but let me tell you someone that I gotta see him step up because he's paid too much money. It's Harold Landry.
Yeah, he's looking to me like he's looking like everybody does when they're coming back from their ACL year 1. But having a full calendar year, I was hoping he wouldn't.
He's not the same excuse in my opinion, because it's been well over a year now since he's done that, and I would like to see him put. And there's a difference between I think it was PFF. I told you this off air, but he's one of the worst edge rushers in the league. And I'm like, okay, there's a difference between you're not gonna be quite the same to you look like you're useless at though. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just looking at some team stats here, but we were 8 of 13 on third downs.
That's good.
I'll take over 50%, and we were 1 for 1 on fourth down. Which remember that was a crazy play. Tannehill was going through those reads, nobody was open, and then he moved a little bit in the pocket, and then zipped it real quick, and Tyjae Spears did a good job of snagging it.
Yeah, that was good. But one thing I liked about Tannehill or the offensive coordinator, I don't know, or a mixture of both, is we was throwing more than just 2-yard passes.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say because he had a little more time, and some of that was true. But we were stretching the field. That was fun to watch. I wish we did that more often.
Yeah, I agree. Because remember that one beautiful touch pass from Tannehill to Nick Westbrook-Akina for 25 yards? What did they call us on that play? Do you remember?
Illegal guy downfield. Dillard.
And that was Dillard. Yes, Dillard was blocking 2 or 3 yards downfield past line of scrimmage, which I don't know why he was doing that. But
he doesn't block people down behind the field. Why is he going downfield to do it?
I don't know.
All right,
I don't
but
know.
and okay, let me say that's someone that I was really impressed with as Westbrook and Nikini.
Yeah, Nick Westbrook Akina. I don't think you'll ever say his name right, but yeah, he came to play. He came to play,
He
which is
played
good.
well and played better than our first round pick. So, I gotta admit, at the end of the 4 weeks into the season, I say Hopkins, I guess, is our best receiver. But then I would give it to him over Traylon Burks for sure.
Chris Moore. Here's the thing: we've basically broken up Traylon Burks, what he's supposed to be good at, and given it to two other players. He's supposed to be good on bombs and go routes. We've let Chris Moore basically do that. And then when it comes to crossers and moving the chains, we're giving that to Nick Westbrook Akina. So basically, we're breaking up his two supposed strengths, and giving it to these two guys. But today, it absolutely worked for us.
I would say, but the good thing though, because Vrabel says Traylon Burks is gonna be out for a week or so, however long that is. But if he doesn't go next week, I feel confident that Chris Moore getting a couple of big ones, Westbrook, you got me. I don't know how to say that name anymore. You got him doing what he does, and you got Hopkins. I'm like, okay, we should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, we should be. I hope we are.
Well, it's all about if the offensive line's going to give Tannehill time. That's what it's about.
I mean, yeah, because I think that's the biggest difference. Now, week one, Tannehill was garbage and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a base fiddle. But if you take away week one, Tannehill's issues, he hasn't had time to go through progressions at all.
Yeah.
Today, he had those opportunities, and he pretty well diced them up, in my opinion. Because I agree with you. He's not dinking and dunking all day. He's
that was
stretching
nice
the field.
Hopkins, I feel like he's very consistent on giving you like 40 to 50 yards right now. That is,
I literally think that's what he's done every single game.
And I would say this: I've been decently okay with that, but I know a lot of people talking about 1,000 yards, and I'm like, let's pump our brakes on that. And
I mean, well, technically, 40 to 60 yards a game, that's gonna get you there.
It is, but he's more closer to 40 than 60 every game. But
yeah. I think he was 70 in week one. He was 70 in week one and 63 today. But I think
did he end up being 63?
Yeah, but I think he was 40s. He was 40s the two in between games.
I didn't know he quite got 60 this game, but
yeah, he's actually averaging. He's not being DeAndre Hopkins. He's always a volume guy where he'll get a crap ton of receptions, but he's not getting necessarily a lot of yards per reception. But today he was 4 receptions. That's it for 63 yards, which is a 15.8 average. And if he would have had just a hair step faster and gotten that bomb from Tannehill on a beautifully drawn up play, that would give him 100 yards.
Still don't know if I want to blame Tannehill or Hopkins for that.
That's just one of those plays where it's just like you're just off by literally this much on a bomb. It's hard to throw blame on anyone. I do think DeAndre Hopkins tripped a little bit the last 10 steps.
Yes, I do.
But
it worked. That play worked. It was like kind of what we said in week one, a couple of our trick plays. Like everything was there, and you just missed it by that much.
Yeah. Well, I guess with Chig though, I think he missed Chig pretty good though.
Yeah, he missed Chig pretty good. But Chig had a good game, no drops. That was good. Got a couple good catches. He's not doing that yaks for us though. That's the problem. Yeah. That we saw in week one.
He's done a couple yaks, but where he's only getting like 4 or 5 yards extra pulling through people. Yeah. He's not doing where he gets 20, 30 yards extra.
But anyway, so I mean, a lot of stuff to be excited about, right? But the problem is, I know the time, especially of this year, because this is what we did with the Chargers. We got back to 500. We had a good win. There's a lot of stuff to be excited about. You begin to feel like, okay, maybe we're not that bad, and then we lay an egg. That's what we did against the Browns. So I'm not going to do that. And Colts look better than we thought initially.
Sadly, yes, I agree. Next week would be a bad week to lay an egg. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Because that division is tight.
Yeah, I'll say 2. Everybody's 2s. Nothing but 2s.
And I would say this: Jags are worse than I thought, but I think Colts and Texans are better than I thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna look before we get out of here because I think we basically said almost all there is to say. But I want to just briefly, because we never really have season, like where we are in the season type update videos. So I want to real quick say who everyone's going against next week in the division. Titans are going against Colts, so we could beat them and go up 3-2, and they go 2-3. Texans are going against the Falcons, so Texans could very well go back up to 3-2. And let's see, where are those Jaguars? Bills. Okay, so Jags are probably going to lose. but Texans are probably going to win, and then we'll see about Titans and Colts because they play each other.
That's a big game. That's a big AFC South showdown.
It is. It really is. It's shaping up to be big because it's looking like it's going to be a very, very, very tight division. I mean,
but between 4 teams, not just one.
Yeah, between everybody.
And it's crazy. Jags, even though they won today, still something's missing with them. And again, that's a good thing. But the Colts and Texans are better than we thought, so that's a bad thing. So I'll say the Titans are worse than I thought. So honestly, Titans and Jags, who I thought would be between those two, are not as good as I thought. Colts and Texans are better than I thought. So you just got a big cluster of the 4 teams, and you just don't know who's gonna win this thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how this thing shakes out. I say fun, but if we end up being on the bottom half of things, maybe not as fun.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun to see how it all shakes out. So, is there anything you want to say before we call it a day here?
No, I guess that covers it.
Yeah, I think that covers it. I guess we'll see y'all again in our preview of the Colts game. So let's just enjoy the dub for the week. Give us a little extra pep in our step, and we'll talk to y'all later.